At the invitation of President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh arrived in Moscow on May 7, 2025, to attend the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. Upon the arrival of the President of Mongolia and the Mongolian delegation at Vnukovo International Airport in Moscow, the honor guard of the Russian Federation was lined up in formation. Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Andrei Rudenko, Director of the State Protocol Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, Igor Bogdashev, and Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to the Russian Federation, Inhtuvshin Uldzesekhan, welcomed President of Mongolia, Khurelsukh and the Mongolian delegation. Mongolia has participated in the celebrations marking the anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War at the head of state level in 1995, 2005, 2010, and 2015. Additionally, military contingents from the Mongolian armed forces took part in the Victory Day parades commemorating the 70th and 75th anniversaries. On May 8, 2025, President of Mongolia Khurelsukh and President of the Russian Federation Vladimir Putin held an official meeting. At the meeting, on behalf of the state, government, and people of Mongolia, President of Mongolia Khurelsukh extended congratulations to President of the Russian Federation Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin and the people of the Russian Federation on the historic occasion of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. President Khurelsukh underscored that from the very first days of the Great Patriotic War, Mongolia and its people, under the slogans "Everything for Victory" and "Everything for the Front Line," made tireless and wholehearted efforts to provide all-around and unconditional assistance to the Red Army of the Soviet Union, which remains one of the crucial events in the history of friendly relations between Mongolia and Russia. Also, President Khurelsukh noted that a military contingent from the Mongolian armed forces is participating in this year's Victory Day parade. President of the Russian Federation Vladimir Putin expressed gratitude to President of Mongolia Khurelsukh for accepting his invitation and visiting Moscow to attend the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. President Vladimir Putin underlined that the government and the people of the Russian Federation have always held in high regard and continue to consider of pivotal importance the valuable support and assistance extended by Mongolia and its people to the Soviet Union during the difficult years of the Great Patriotic War. The two heads of state exchanged views on various issues of traditionally friendly relations between our two countries and bilateral cooperation in trade, economy, investment, agriculture, energy, transport and logistics, tourism, environment, and humanity. The two presidents expressed mutual commitment to further advancing Mongolia-Russia relations and cooperation based on the principles of a comprehensive strategic partnership. On May 9, 2025, President of Mongolia Khurelsukh laid wreaths at the On the Roads of War monument in Victory Park on Poklonnaya Hill in Moscow, the capital city of the Russian Federation. The monument is a gift from the people of Mongolia to the Russian Federation. The monument symbolizes the support of the people of Mongolia to the Soviet Union during the difficult years of the war, including the donation of warm clothing, food, and horses, as well as military equipment such as the Hevsalt Mongol Revolutionary Mongolia Tank Brigade and the Mongol Ard People of Mongolia Fighter Squadron. The monument has an inscription in both Mongolian and Russian, which reads, "From the very first day of the Great Patriotic War, the people of Mongolia were faithful allies of the Soviet people, contributing to the great victory by sending a tank brigade, a fighter squadron, 500,000 horses, and other convoys of gifts." The monument was initiated by Mongolian citizen Gambayr and was created based on a design by sculptor Ochirbold in collaboration with architects Tikhonov and Perfiliev. It was officially unveiled and installed at Victory Park on Poklonnaya Hill in Moscow on May 5, 2017, just ahead of Victory Day. From the very first days of the Great Patriotic War, under the slogans "Everything for Victory" and "Everything for the Front Line," the state, government, and people of Mongolia provided all-around assistance to the Red Army of the Soviet Union, such as tank brigades, fighter squadrons, 500,000 horses, and 740 rail cars of aid containing warm clothing made of wool and hide, meat, dairy products, and food supplies. On the same day, President of Mongolia Khurelsukhna met with officers and surgeons of Mongolia studying at academies and universities under the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the Ministry of Civil Defense, Emergencies and Disaster Relief of the Russian Federation. Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Mongolia, Khurelsukhna, encouraged all military personnel participating in the meeting to diligently pursue military studies and contribute meaningfully to the development of the Armed Forces of Mongolia. Under an agreement between the Ministries of Defense of the two countries, 80 to 130 military personnel of Mongolia have been annually studying at military academies and universities of the Russian Federation since 2007. Currently, about 400 cadets are studying in more than 30 military specialties at 25 academies and universities of the Ministry of Defense of Russia. The President, together with the cadets, paid tribute and laid wreaths at the memorial plaque dedicated to Sukhbatur Demding, leader of the 1921 People's Revolution of Mongolia, on the wall of the Metropole Hotel in Moscow. The plaque was placed in memory of revolutionary leader Sukhbatur's participation in the signing of the Treaty of Friendship between the Mongolian People's Republic and the Soviet Union on November 5, 1921. On May 9, 2025, President of Mongolia Khurelsukhna attended the Victory Day Parade for the 80th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War in Moscow. More than 11,000 Russian military personnel and over 1,500 troops from 13 countries, including Mongolia, the People's Republic of China, the Republic of Azerbaijan, the Republic of Belarus, Republic of Tajikistan, Republic of Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, the Kyrgyz Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, and Laos People's Democratic Republic and the Republic of the Union of Myanmar took part in the Victory Day Parade. A military contingent from the Mongolian Armed Forces, led by Commander of Military Unit Number 32 of Mongolia, Lieutenant Colonel Biliksahan, consisted of 28 officers, 50 non-commissioned officers, and 2 contracted military servicemen. Last month, the military contingent of Mongolia trained alongside military units from the Republic of Kazakhstan, Republic of Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan at the Zvinogorod Military Resort and Rehabilitation Center under the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation.